A lot of men will ignore their gut feeling, and then they end up in crappy relationships because of it. I know gut feeling is usually associated with women, but men have it too, and you can use it to your advantage. Sometimes men override their intuition because they desire something, and they stop paying attention to the evidence. We're all guilty of that in the honeymoon stage. You want her so badly that you ignored every single red flag that she put on display for you. And when you're attracted to someone, sometimes that dopamine overrides your logic. You might be a really logical man, but then you make mistakes in dating for this very reason. And sometimes you might ignore the red flags because deep down you hope you're wrong. Maybe your gut feeling was wrong at one point, and then you've learned to not trust it ever. She only causes drama sometimes. She's cool most of the time. She's just been through a lot. You don't need to make excuses for her behavior. Or deep down you might feel that if you love her more, she'll magically change. She'll be that non-toxic wife material woman that you are looking for, and unfortunately that's not going to be the case. Next, you might be afraid to be alone, and that's valid. And if you have low self-esteem, you might deep down believe that you are less than when you're single, which isn't the truth. You are just as valuable single or taken. So it causes you to settle for women that treat you horribly. And no one deserves to go through that. And you might have the mindset, what if nobody better comes along? But I mean, if you're in a relationship, you can't really date anybody else. So if that right person did come along, you're not available to them. And for a lot of men, if you had a rough upbringing, then that's going to feel familiar to you. You are more likely drawn to those toxic women, unfortunately. And you may have this mindset where you want to turn your life around. And you don't want to put up with the things that you dealt with maybe both or one of your parents. But what ends up happening is you are drawn to those very same people, basically. And unless you notice it and take action, you're going to fall into the trap. And a lot of us are guilty of this. So don't put yourself down about it, but you do need to be aware of it. Deep down, you might also believe that your intuition is kind of a weakness. You might write it off as being too emotional because it's something a lot of women pay attention to and listen to, but that's not the case at all. Sometimes logic can be manipulated if your desire for someone is strong enough. We all know those situations where we talked ourselves into something we didn't want to do, or we convinced ourselves of something that wasn't true. This can sometimes be our logic, and it can sometimes be flawed. So when you're having a moment like this, stop yourself and ask yourself, okay, what do you actually know about this woman? What are some of the red flags? And this doesn't mean you have to leave right off the bat. You need to mentally note those red flags and watch if they escalate and get worse. And if your friend dated someone just like this woman, what would you say to that? What would you say to him? And do you actually feel calm and peaceful around her? Or do you feel like you're going on a roller coaster? Where the highs feel absolutely incredible and the lows feel absolutely horrible? And yes, there's going to be a honeymoon period where we all experience this. But after that's done, it should mellow out and you should have a very deep and peaceful relationship with this woman. And if you don't, there's a problem. Do you have to convince her to like you? That's the biggest thing. Like, yes, it's normal to kind of show off for the person you're interested in. You want to impress them. But do you feel like if you were to pull back that effort, would she still like you as you? If the answer is no, that's not good. Like, yes, relationships can be hard, but they're not supposed to be that hard. The person should at least like you. Like, let's be real here. If you think about all the times that you ignored your gut, how many times have you been burned because of it?